What's going on, guys? CWG here. Welcome to another Gregtech New Horizons video. In the previous video, we made that PTFE setup and we made the quad electric blast furnace in all of its glory. So let me show you what I've been doing in between episodes, and I've been putting in that work, boy. As you can see, our benzene tank is now completely full. You'll love to see it. I've installed some concrete paths in between our buildings. We got our magic house over there that we're gonna have to move our magic stuffs and things into. We'll be doing that this episode. And as you can see in our machine lines, I've upgraded a ton of the machines to high voltage now. I mean, let's throw a stack of steel inside of our bending machine now. Look at the speed it can make steel plates. You gotta love the high voltage machines. I've also been slowly replacing these chests with the compressed chests because they can store so much stuff. Look at all this freaking dust we have. We have so much calcium. I guess we don't have to worry about our bones getting weak. Also, I've upgraded the centrifuge and the ore washer to steel, like I said I would last episode. Will I ever upgrade the blender? I don't know. And if we go up to the second floor where our benzene generation is, you can see that I built a new multi-block structure. This is the pyrolyze oven. Basically what we're doing is we're turning 16 logs into 20 charcoal and a bonus wood tar that we can turn into extra benzene. This guy's basically like an even better version of the advanced coke oven. Sadly, I can't show you guys it running because our charcoal drawer is completely full. Look at that. 151,000 charcoal. I mean, I've already put a ton of upgrades on this guy, but I might need to add even more. But the way it works is pretty simple. Logs go in on the top here. They go into this slot on circuit 9. And then charcoal comes out of the back right here. And the wood tar comes out of this slot and goes immediately into a distillery, and it gets turned into benzene. Now, the benzene that it makes is able to power the distillery and power the multi-block itself. There's an HV energy hatch right there, and then the extra benzene goes into this tank here, which has like 2 million benzene, and then gets sent off to the main benzene line. So that's pretty cool. This multi-block is able to power itself. And the reason I didn't build it earlier is because, as you can see, it requires coils. And the better coils you put in there, the faster it goes. So at cupro nickel, it's not really worth it. It means that this guy's faster. But now that we have nichrome coils, the pyrolyze oven finally takes over. I know there's been a guy in my comments from Russia. He's been really wanting me to build a pyrolyze oven, so boom, here you go. I even left enough space here in case I want to build a second pyro oven. I'm sure we will probably need it eventually, but dang, we got so much charcoal. I've also been upgrading more of our chests to these compressed chests. I freaking love these things. Look at all these ores we have. We got like all these ores. These are the Thaumcraft ores. And we got all these freaking ores in here. We got like a chest full of all the freaking crushed ores and then all the dusts. I feel like that one Futurama meme where it's like, oh, look at my collection of ores here. Now, another thing I've been doing in between episodes that I mentioned at the end of last episode is crops. That's right, I've been finally getting into crop breeding. Check out all these fancy crops. All right, let me show you how it works. It's pretty simple. Well, relatively simple. So as you guys have seen before, there are IC2 crops from Industrial Craft 2 that you can plant on crop sticks. Neat. Now, what's special about these crops is you can scan it. You see, I made a portable scanner here. If you right-click it like so, it will give you all the different stats. So if you look at the top of the screen here, you can see there's growth, gain, resistance, fertilizer, blah, blah, blah. I'll explain it to you really quickly. So first stat is growth. You want to get your growth to 23. It will make the crops grow faster, obviously. But here's the catch. If your growth hits 24, the crop turns into a weed and it will destroy all the crops around it. So that's very bad. The next stat is gain. You want to get that up to 31. That's the max gain and there's no downside. So just get the highest gain as possible. The next stat is resistance, which means like how well it's able to resist weeds and like jumping on it and stuff. So that one doesn't really matter. You want to keep resistance less than 10. And preferably you want just a 0 resistance because we don't care about that. Here's the other catch. The higher growth and gain you have, the more fertilizer and water and nutrients that you need for the crop to not die. Because if it doesn't have like a good enough biome with good enough humidity and enough nutrients, the crop will actually just straight up die. So you got to be careful. So next question, how do we even get higher stats on the crops in the first place? Well, let's take some stickweed here, for example, and we can plant them inside the crop sticks. This is what the seed bag looks like in Industrial Craft 2. The reason you want to start with stickweed is because it is the fastest growing of the crops. You're going to see here, it's going to move on to its next growth stage very quickly. And the way that you get the stats higher is you put a double crop stick in between them, and then the crops will breed, it will make a new crop, and there's a chance that the stats can go higher or lower. If you guys ever played with AgriCraft before, then you're a bit familiar with this mechanic. But Industrial Craft 2 is more annoying than AgriCraft because you have to worry about weeds. And the crops, when they crossbreed, the stats can actually go down. So you have to wait until it mutates up, save the crop, replace it, and keep repeating this process until you got the max stat crops. And if you look over here, I have managed to level up these crops. This stickweed here has 22 growth, 31 gain, and only a resistance of 2. So this is a very good crop right here. Now, what is like the growth gain? Like, what does it even mean? Well, like I said before, growth means it grows faster, and gain means it gives you more drops. And once you have the max stack crop, it basically means it produces 10 times as more output as a normal crop. So pretty good. Now, it does take a while for these guys to actually crossbreed, so I'm not just going to wait around to show you. You just have to trust me here. So when you're ready to harvest a crop, if you want the seed bag, just make this spade here, left click it, and it should drop you a seed bag like so. Now, there is a chance that it doesn't drop a seed bag like that second one does, so you gotta be a bit careful. Now, the next thing, how do you get the new Industrial Craft 2 crops? You have to crossbreed different crops, and there's a chance you can get a mutation. For instance, right here we have a hemp crop, which drops string. You know, just growing some hemp in my farm, don't worry about it. And we have this witherweed crop. This is a crop that will drop coal, which is kind of neat. And what's interesting with this crop is if you look at the top, it says can grow no. The only way to get it to its final growth stage is you actually have to put a block of coal underneath it, like we did here. This is actually what it looks like when it's fully grown. It turns into like a pile of coal. I imagine it's kind of like potatoes, except for it's coal potatoes, which is kind of funny. So as you can see here, if you crossbreed two different types of crops, it has a good chance of either becoming one of the two parents or mutating into something new. So if we scan this here, it's witherweed. That's neat, but we don't need it because we're trying to get the new crops. Now check this out. We got the blue glowshroom crop. It's got growth of 20, gain of 28, so it's pretty good. I'm trying to get crops that have a growth of 20 or better and a gain of like, I don't know, 27 or better, and I say that's good enough. So let's see if we can harvest this guy. Yep, look at that. We got a blue glowshroom seed, which I think is a new seed we don't have yet. You can look at the sides here. These are filing cabinets from Extra Utilities. They're really good at storing a lot of the same type of items, but those items like don't stack with each other because the only way they stack is if they have the exact same stats. So we got a cabinet here full of random seeds that I don't really care about. Like there's a bunch of stickweed here from when I was leveling it up. We got this filing cabinet, which is one of each max stat seed. So in case I lose a seed, we always have one backup. Look at all these different seeds we have. We have like cucumber, gold, oreberry. Yeah, this is taking forever. I've just been going ham off camera. Let's look at our total play time now. Yeah, we're over 200 hours now. I've been spending so many hours into these crops. We have a filing cabinet here for extra max stat crops, and we got one for things that we're gonna actually add to the farm right here. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't explain the other stats on these guys. So if you look at the top here, you can see that there's fertilizer, water, redex, nutrients, humidity, blah, blah, blah. So fertilizer, the way you get a higher stat with that is by providing these guys fertilizer. And if we look under the ground here, I have set up a crop manager here. It's actually getting powered from a medium voltage battery buffer, in which I got some MV batteries in here. I then have a transformer that turns the medium voltage into low voltage, so that way it lasts even longer. And in here, we can provide it with fertilizer, and we can provide it with water. You can see down here is a reservoir, which is basically an infinite water source that you get access to in high voltage. Pretty neat. So what this guy will do is it will take the fertilizer and it will apply it to the different crops up here, and you can see each of them has over 100 fertilizer. Pretty good. So the next thing is water, and water is also provided by the crop manager. You can see there's water in here. So with the extra fertilizer, it brings up our nutrient stat. You can see the nutrient on this guy is 6, the nutrient on this guy is 6. If we look at these other crops that are not getting fertilized, you can see that the nutrients are only 1. And on this guy, you can see the humidity is up to 19. The humidity is a mixture of the biome that we're in. We're in a 70% humidity biome. You can see that these guys have a humidity of 9, and it also gets extra humidity stats from the water. And then you got air quality. You get higher air quality by having empty air spaces around it. That one doesn't matter too much, but I guess it's nice to have. So what is the point of having all these extra environmental stats? The higher the tier crop, you can see this crop is a tier 2, this crop is a tier 8. The higher the tier it is and the more like growth and gain stats it has, the higher the environmental stats it requires. So I hope I did a decent job of explaining the convoluted system that is IC2 crops, but once you understand like how it works, it's not too bad, and you can get some actually really useful crops. There's so many different types of IC2 crops, as you can see here. And the reason I've been crossbreeding hemp and witherweed is because it's really good for crossbreeding and getting different species. Like for instance, right here we have creeper weed, which is pretty cool. It's a crop that gives gunpowder, but I already have this crop, so we can get rid of it. But I did get a awesome crop that I've been trying to get for a bit now. Check it out. Oil berries. This crop will drop oil berries that you can turn directly into oil. Now, one berry only gives you 1/10 of a bucket of oil, which is obviously not the best. But I'm thinking if I just set up like a ton of them, maybe we could actually get our oil from crops, which would be really funny. And you can see, since it has really good stats, we actually got 5 oil berries from that one crop. Oh, we got an achievement, renewable oil. Let's go. So yeah, one crop gave us half a bucket of oil. I think we're gonna go for the oil berries just for the memes. The only downside is it doesn't scale well until late game. Actually, there's like a crop thingy you can make later. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna plant the oil berry seed here and then crossbreed it with this witherweed to try to get its stats up. Oh, I haven't even like talked about the weeds yet. So if you have crop sticks in the world, whether they're just kind of like on their own like this, or you have the double crop sticks, there is a chance that a weed will spawn in any given tick. I'm hoping if I like plant enough of these, we'll see a weed spawn, and we probably will. But the point is, there's Weed X here. You can right click it onto the crop sticks and it will stop the weeds from spawning for a bit. If you look at a crop here, you can see that it has a Weed X stat. You don't have to worry about putting Weed X on a crop if it already exists. You have to put the Weed X onto these middle crops here. Like you can, if I scan this guy, you'll see it has a Weed X of 85. It will slowly go down, but the Weed X does last a long time. And you do not want a weed to like sprout in one of these crop sticks if you're off doing something else. It will just destroy all the other crops. So you got to be very careful about that. Hey, weed, you want to spawn in? I want to show the audience what you look like. No? Okay. So yeah, I've just been doing a ton of this in between episodes, getting new crops. We already have Iron Ore Berry. What are you? God of Thunder. We already have you. That's actually a pretty cool crop. And, ooh, live roots. Yes. Do we get a seed bag? Yes, let's go. Yes, that means we have renewable live root. You know, that stuff that you get from the Twilight Forest that's pretty annoying to get. We could just grow it now. Pretty awesome. Hey, we got an achievement. Ironwood is better than normal wood. Add it to our filing cabinet. We got so many freaking crops now. And in this chest over here, we have like a bunch of the different drops that I've been getting from all these crazy crops. Look at them all. Now, a super cool thing that we're getting from the crops are these like leaves. Like, look, there's a nickelback leaf. How funny is that? And what you can do with these metallic leaves is you can combine it with your ore in a chemical reactor with some water, and it gives you quadruple the ore, and sometimes a little bit of byproduct. So that's pretty awesome. It means you can turn 1 ore, because it doubles when you macerate it, and then you can 4x it inside of a chemical reactor. You can get 8 ore per ore, if that makes sense. So there you guys go. There's your crash course for how Industrial Craft 2 crops work. Like, they are extremely grindy, that's for sure. It took hours just to get the freaking max stat crop, and then more hours to like crossbreed all the other ones. So what I want to do here is upgrade all of our bonsai saplings, because all these guys are just like 111 stat crops. And if I replace this whole farm with the max stat crops, you're talking about 10x more logs. So then we'll have all the benzene we could ever want. Now, if we go down to the bottom here, I have upgraded all of the experience crops. And they have been dropping so much experience. Oh my gosh, look at this drawer. There's 65,000 concentrated essence berries that we have now. It's just so much XP. And as you can see, like once the drawer fills up, the crop manager will fill up with all the XP essence, and it will just harvest more as we need more. Now, we actually have a good way to store all of this experience. I crafted another item in between episodes. This is the experience obelisk that we now have access to in high voltage. This guy's pretty cool. You can press this button here and suck up all the levels. Look, we have 222 levels. And then we can store it back in this guy. Boom. So that way, if we die, we don't have to worry about losing 200 levels. Now, you can actually break this guy. It will hold all the experience inside of it, so you don't have to worry about it all getting deleted. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the levels do stay in there if you break it. So what we could do here is come down to this experience pipe, plop it down, and yeah, look at it. It's gonna pipe all the experience into there, and I guess we can burn through our 65,000 essence berries and see how much experience we get. Oh, I guess I also forgot to mention, but when you're crossbreeding to get new types of crops, and they're both max stat crops, the child will also get max stats, so that's pretty good. So you have to get the max stat crop just once, and then do all your crossbreeding with the max stat crops, and then all those other ones will also be max stats. That's how we were able to get so many of them. I mean, look at all these guys. Oh, I guess I never mentioned this. Now that we're in high voltage, we're able to upgrade our food source. This is the industrial craft tinned can. You craft it with tin casings on circuit 1 in the HV bending machine, and you get a tin can. So they're pretty cheap to make. And check out what you could do with it. You can see that I need a little bit of hunger here. If I right click it, boom, instantly fills all my hunger and saturation. Yeah, it's pretty OP. Not only that, but you don't have to worry about eating the same food too many times in a row. You could just eat it like whatever you want. And the way you fill up the tin cans is pretty simple. You use a basic canning machine. Wow, makes sense. And you put the food in the left slot and then the tin cans in the right slot. So let's go ahead and put more tin cans in here, pull out some of these guys, and you see the food will get put into the can and we're just eating from cans like homeless people. I mean, it does seem kind of gross, but like it's so nice to just be able to right click and it fills up all your hunger and you don't even have to worry about it. I mean, it's pretty good. Now, the better food that you use to put in a can, the more cans you will get. If we look at uses here, you can see Beef Wellington has so much hunger, it gives you 18 full cans just from one. And Beef Wellingtons are actually like not that hard to make. They're probably the cheapest really good food that you can make. So yeah, we're eating out of cans now. That's exciting. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also made the sifting multi-block that I mentioned last episode. I said I wanted to make. This thing's freaking awesome. And I built it into the floor here because I always find it hilarious when you build multi-blocks into the floor. Yeah, the whole thing, it goes like underground, as you can kind of see. But to say this sifting machine is fast is an understatement. I mean, look at all the things that we've already sifted. Here, I'll grab some things to sift to show you how good it is. All right, so I got some purified diamond ore here. Before I built this multi-block, we were using this low voltage sifting machine. And if I put an ore in here, you can see it takes 40 seconds for one ore. That's pretty bad. Now, if we throw in the purified diamond into our input chest here, it should turn on. Oh, there it goes. And you can see in 8 seconds, it's able to do, I believe, it does, yeah, 12 ore at a time. And it only takes 8 seconds. That is like so much faster than our single block sifting machine. Look, it already finished all 16, and our low voltage sifter isn't even done yet. This multi-block's freaking awesome. Definitely build it as soon as you can. Alright, so I think we're finally caught up with everything I've been doing in between episodes. I kind of forgot how long it takes to explain how all these crops works. Oh, we got the raspberry. I think we don't have that one yet. Was this a stingberry? Do I have that? I don't even remember. What is this? Bamboo? Don't need it. So what I'm going to work on is leveling up these ore berries a bit more and then getting a whole bunch of them. I'm also going to work on getting our oak bonsais upgraded, and we're going to have to set up so many more farming stations to farm all the different crops we want. Another crop I am trying to get is called diareed, and this guy will like literally just drop diamonds. It's pretty good. If you look at JI here, it says what crops you should breed together to get the best chance. We do have oil berries now, but you need Bob's Your Uncle ranks. Yeah, I don't have that yet. It's a crop that drops emerald stuff, I believe. But you can see there's like different combinations of crops that you can breed together. Here you could do hemp and Bob's Your Uncle, and the final one is oilberry and hemp. So if we crossbreed our oil berry with hemp, we have a chance to get it. Honestly, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Oh, I almost forgot. Look, weeds. I told you that weeds will randomly spawn on crop sticks, and you can see this one grew and spread to the other one. And yes, I know it says weed 420 blaze it. But whenever a weed does spawn, you can just right click it to get rid of the weeds. But that is why we have all this Weed X. To make Weed X, you have to make this a strong poisonous brew, which is made using the brewery and grin powder, and you get grin powder from macerating either poisonous potato, spider eyes, so it's not too hard to get Weed X. It's definitely worth it. You don't want to have to worry about the weeds. Oh, let's get that stingberry. Neat. Oh, look at that. We haven't eaten this crop yet. See, we're getting some new foods just by crossbreeding crops, because there's some foods that it's the only way to get it, like this stingberry. So we'll be able to get some extra hearts. Now, one of the downsides about eating from these tin cans is it causes our nutrition to go down, because apparently there's no nutrients in this canned food. So that means we've lost all of like those buffs that we were getting for having high nutrition, and our hearts have gone down to 1 pink heart, because I guess we were getting a lot of extra hearts from our nutrition. But it's fine. We're just gonna have to work our hearts back up. Hopefully eating some extra food will help us out. Oh, check it out. We got a sick new crop, Aurelia. Now, in order for Aurelia to grow, we have to put a block of gold underneath it. So let me make a block of gold real quick. Wait, what the heck? A weed grew? I don't know what's happening. Apparently that grass was actually a weed. Huh. And then it killed our other crop here. Dang it. Yeah, that'll sometimes happen. Even though that had Weed X on it, like a weed somehow still grew. So you gotta be careful with these things. It can be a bit buggy. That means we're gonna need another withreed, which I think we have somewhere in these chests. Yeah, we got an extra one. Yeah, you gotta be careful about the random weeds. Anyways, back to putting a gold block under here. This will allow our Aurelia to grow. And what this guy will do is it will give us these Aurelia leaves, and we can use this to quadruple our gold, which is going to be awesome because gold has been quite the bottleneck when it comes to making Electrum, that's for sure. All right, guys, look at me. I'm a wizard. I'm joined here with Stircat. We're inside of the magic house. We have moved all the Thaumcraft magic stuff into the magic house. I just got to like get everything set up. We put our research table. We surrounded it with some bookshelves and crystal clusters, which apparently will help it regen certain aspects. Yeah, look at that. You can see the little glowy thing on it. It means it's slowly regenerating those aspects. The more bookshelves and crystal clusters you put around it, the more things will recharge. So I guess I'll have to make some more crystal clusters. So if we look at our quest book here, it is all leading to one thing. Infusion. Infusion's like the backbone of Thaumcraft stuffs and things. You can see inside of our research thing, there is infusion, and we need to build this table here. And you can see we've already got it started. We're just missing the runic matrix, which is the most expensive part. But if we look at our crafting table here, got all the ingredients, it's ready to go. And as you can see, I have upgraded the wand a bit in between episodes. We have a satin entined greatwood wand that can hold 50 each. And for crafting, we made a gold banded scepter, which can hold 75 each. Now, the scepter can only be used for crafting, so that's why this guy just stays inside of our crafting table here. And we have to use this wand to actually like cast spells and form the multi-block. So here we go. Runic Matrix, done. That should give us the achievement, maybe. There we go, fusion! And the block should go right here. Let's break the placey cobble. And I think we just right click it with the wand. Oh! Wait, what? Why are the infusion pillars invisible? Do you see the pillars?
Yes.
Alright, let me relog quick. Yep, relogged. Okay, we can see them. They exist. I thought like they all just got deleted. That would have been bad. And the next thing we have to do is put pedestals around the infusion altar. Now, the infusion altar has this weird stability requirement where you want everything to be symmetrical around this guy for added stability. And I think this quest book, yep, it gives us another pedestal. So we can put one here, and then we want another one here. Stircat, can you claim the pedestal? This should work out perfectly. So we'll have 8 surrounding it. So how does this thing even work? Let's look up a ball of moss. If you guys remember, this is how you get auto repair in Tinkers. This is what the recipe looks like. So you have to put these items on the pedestals, which I think we have all the items that we need. But you also have to supply it with different aspect juices. And if you remember, we get the juices from this guy over here. We just melt down the items and get out the juice and put it in the jars. Now, there's actually a way to automate this. using golems. Let's pull out our Thaumanomicon here. There's a whole page for golemancy that I've been advancing in. So we could basically make these cool looking golem things, and we have to make a golem core alchemy, and it will automatically take the stuff out and put it into jars, which I think would be pretty cool. Although to craft it, you have to use infusion, and it requires nether stars, which is pretty wild. But as you can see in like the infusion craft, it says instability high. So we have to add stability to this guy. Now, how do you know what the stability is? We have to make an abacus. Yes, this thing right here. Looks like we need another runic matrix, HV sensor, and some thaumic rods. And we're gonna have to do some research into witching gadgets. So I'm gonna do the research for this guy, and I'll be back when we have our abacus. Alright, and we got everything we need to make the arcane abacus. It is kind of expensive. It requires some HV circuits and another runic matrix, but boom, we got an abacus. We can do math now. You love to see it. So I think you just right click the infusion altar, and then it says at the bottom left, total stability booster -4. And it says pedestal at blah 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 lacks symmetrical partner. Did we mess up the pedestal placement? Yes I did. See, I told you, everything being symmetrical is important, otherwise you'll get negative stability. All right, let's check it now. We are at a stability of 0. Okay, so how do we raise our stability so we can actually use this thing to craft? Well, we can actually look up stabilizer in NEI here, and it will show you all the different types of things you can use as a stabilizer block, like ancient iron. That sounds kind of fancy. One of the easier ones we can do is make a bunch of these quicksilver blocks, which is quicksilver that you can get from cinnabar ore. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab all this quicksilver that we have and process down all of our cinnabar so we can get as much as possible, and I'll hop back in when we're ready. And we're back, and we've made a bunch of the quicksilver blocks. We also used zombie heads and some of these crystal clusters to raise our stability. Oh, and these little tallow candles, which are cute. Look, they're magenta candles. Stircat picked the color, of course. So, if we right-click our arcane, whatever the thing on there, you can see we have a stability of 7 now. Okay, so we can finally show this thing off. So I want to make a ball of moss so we can get auto repair on our tools. You can see it has a instability of 5 and we have stability of 7. So we should be good now. We just have to put these items on the pedestals and the charm in the center. So I went ahead and gathered these guys, and we just have to put them on the pedestals. So we put these on here and the primal charm in the center. Now if we right click the abacus on it, you see that we actually have less stability now because putting items on the pedestal, since we're not perfectly symmetrical because 2 are missing, it actually lowers our infusion a bit. So it says stability 5 and instability of the craft is 5. So we should be good. You can see the other thing that we needed is the different essentias, which I've melted down a whole bunch of items. Look at all the different essentia juices we have now. Oh boy, so we needed the earth, instrumentum, and the life one, and we should have enough now, so I think it's time to finally start our first infusion craft. So if we grab our wand here and right click the matrix, there it goes. So it starts by sucking in the required juices. Look at that, it's sucking in the life juice.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's a Stircat's first time seeing this. Infusion.
I like everything.
Thaumcraft. Yes.
Everything that sucks things up and make colors and pretty things, and yeah, you know.
Yes, it's very pretty. Now, if we didn't have enough stability, it would like shoot lightning off, and it would like knock items off their pedestals. So I'm hoping we don't run into that.
I want to see that.
No, you don't want to see that.
I want to see that.
No, don't do it. Alright, so it's sucking the instrumentum. Yep, next it should suck the earth. Oh no, we're good. Now it's sucking the items into the center. Look at it go. There we go. We got our first infusion craft, a ball of moss. How cool. And I can add it to one of my tinker's tools. Maybe the shovel. I have it on the hammer, and now the hammer like never dies. It's pretty nice. So there we go. We got our little magic side quest, infusion altar, so we can do a lot more Thaumcraft stuff and things. Gonna have to make more of these quicksilver blocks so we can keep adding more stabilizers. You'll love to see it. Alright guys, it's been a couple weeks since that last clip. Oops. I know you guys are already making memes in my Discord. Oh, CWG, he's gone again. No, I'm still here. Yeah, sorry, for like the next month, I'm gonna be pretty decently busy, so I'm just gonna try to get you guys out videos whenever I can. I know, real life, it's cringe. I wish I could just skip it. But here, to make it up for you, we can finally harvest this Aurelia crop together and hope we get a seed bag. After 2 weeks, do we finally get a seed bag? Yes, we do, and 5 Aurelia leaves. Let's freaking go. This is gonna be so good in getting us more gold. I mean, this is kind of my first time ever using these leaves. If I remember correctly, you used to have to dissolve it in acid. I think they actually changed the recipe to use water instead, so it actually got a buff, so I'm excited to try it out now that it's got buffed. But in between episodes, I am gonna go absolutely ham on all of these crops. And hopefully when we see each other next, we will have a massive crop skyscraper of doom. Wahaha. I'll see you guys in a year. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully not that long. Catch y'all on the next one. CWG. Ow.